Southern Uganda, home to Acholi people, is still limping from the scars of 2 decades of war between the Lord Resistance Army and the government of Uganda. This insurgency saw thousands of people killed and close to 2 million forced into concentration camps across the sub-region. Infrastructures such as roads, schools, culture, hospitals, and agriculture were destroyed. Gender-based violence was seen by the community as a taboo. Now is the greatest challenge facing families. The situation was tense. Many international and domestic NGOs therefore intervened and provided humanitarian relief assistance to the war-affected populations. One of these NGOs is the World Vision, whose major focus is to enhance peace and security, health, education, and livelihood through working with the local government.
World Vision chose to participate in the 16 days against gender-based violence simply because we know that in Uganda, only 2 out of every 10 women and girls are able to report cases of abuse, and we know that we can provide evidence to influence the decisions that are happening with the legislators at the district level. We realize that many of the legislators in sub-county and district councils lack the evidence, and we felt that participating in these 16 days of gender-based violence, we are going to provide this evidence. That is why we worked with different civil society organizations, we worked with different coalitions, so that we can amplify the voices of the children, especially the girl child in school.
According to the Ministry of Education and Sports, the pupils' enrollment in the universal primary education has increased from 8 million in 2011 to 8.2 million in 2012. However, girl child still face high numbers of school dropouts compared to boys in about 40%.
In that the parents, they still have that belief of all the time that if a girl is educated, will not make a good wife, will just become a prostitute.
These are pupils from Paibona Primary School in Awach Sub-County in Gulu District. It's these young women who hardly make from primary 1 to primary 7. And according to World Vision estimates that out of 57 enrolled children in primary 1, only 11 make it through primary leaver certificate. Most of these children often qualify in 3rd grade. The performance standard aching politicians in the area.
When I go to Montage schools, it's a school dropout, especially to girls. Especially girls. And it is very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. Inside one example, I remember there was a school I went to. Enrollment, P1, girls were 50. But when they were sitting exam, that is PLE, they were only 10. In fact, that result shocked me so much.
We have realized that many of our girls are not completing P7. Even those who complete P7, you'll find that majority pass in from grade 3 upwards, which is also a big challenge to our community.
Girl child education in the village schools still remain low due to problems of sanitary pads, child labor, forced marriage, cultural beliefs against girl child, and peer pressure.
Actually, they say the major challenge is that the sexual harassment in class, sometimes even by teachers.
We ask them, do the girls come get the pregnancy when they are at home or from school? They say both.
Magupoi area kind ana chu matie and they don't hear a dog. Magupo.
During school days, A senior woman teacher like Grace Dodge guides these young girls on moral character during adolescence. Adolescence is a stage of growth in the mid-early stage of a person in areas of emotion, physical, and mental development. Human development characteristics can confuse and frustrate parents, leading to domestic violence.
The girls are saying that we need to talk to our parents because the parents are actually the cause of their dropout. Some of the parents tell you when they give birth, they tell you now, can you stay home and look after the child, the young baby? Some of the parents tell you that you cannot share a house with me. Why don't you also look for your what? For your own husband? At my age, at your age, I was already married. So the parents actually, majority, in fact, out of the 10 schools that we visited, majority, all of them were saying that there's need to have dialogue with parents.
Gulu District passed Education Ordinance in 2010 to enforce Universal Primary Education Program, which requires parents, teachers, and pupils to promote it.
This thing for a council meeting as a motion by saying that the dropout of girls is rampant. What can we do as a sub-county? So the resolution was made first that unfortunately, sincerely speaking, the sub-county is not implementing the education ordinance. Because in education ordinance, everything is there stated.
But I must admit that despite this education ordinance, enforcement has been a problem. And who are the major stakeholders in enforcing this education ordinance? We have the parents.
Gender-based violence is a problematic situation now. That attempts to address it seems to have defeated many, and it needs a concerted effort by all stakeholders.
In Gulu district, we're trying to craft a GBV ordinance, and we feel that through these spaces, the voices of the girl child can be brought into the crafting of that very important document at the district level. At national level, we're also aware that the national gender-based violence policy is on its way, and we feel if we engage at the local level, we can bring the voices of the girls who are the most vulnerable to the policy agenda at the national level. So as World Vision, we feel that we must take advantage of the spaces to provide a platform for engagement on issues that affect the girl child at the district level, but also at the national level.